Hey guys, it's Rosie or Top of Bricks here with another video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at what I think are the most and least accurate LEGO Harry Potter figures. I'm going to be selecting 5 from each category to compare to the movie characters, and there are some examples of outstanding figures and hilariously bad figures, so this should be a fun one. Starting off with the most accurate figures, we have Bellatrix Lestrange from the 2010 Attack on the Burrow set. This minifigure is such a superior version to the one we got a decade later in 2020 due to her having leg printing. What would have made this figure even better would be her having arm printing, just like how this custom minifigure has here. This minifigure fetches a whopping £35 or $45 on Bricklink, and that's due to how desirable she is as the most accurate Bellatrix Lestrange figure LEGO has ever given us. Next up on our list we have Minerva McGonagall from the 2021 LEGO Transfiguration Hogwarts Moments book. This minifigure went all out on the detail. We have crazy detailed patterns and multiple different shades of green on the torso with the dual moulded hat and hairpiece. I personally think that this minifigure is one to shoot up in price in the future, and I've actually included this minifigure in a video where I discuss LEGO Harry Potter figures that I think are going to shoot up in price in the future. Link for that will be in the description below. Next up on the list of most accurate figures we have Tom Riddle from the Magical Treasury book, released in 2019 I believe. This Tom Riddle figure is far superior to the one we got in the 2021 LEGO Chamber of Secrets set. The later version failed to continue his cape with side leg printing, so when you look at this figure from any sort of angle, it just looks off. However, the one we got in the book is absolutely perfect. I think you can still pick this book up for under £20, so if you're on the fence about getting this minifigure, I'd definitely recommend you pick it up before it's too late. Next on our list is going to be Dolores Umbridge from the Bricktober pack of November 2018. This figure again will be another one of those figures I reckon is going to jump up in price over the next few years, as she wasn't widely available, but yeah, this figure is just jam-packed with detail. We have the side leg printing with her dress and high heel shoes. The torso print is just perfect with that checkered pattern on her main dress with the light pink overcoat accompanied by a pin. Even her face print is fantastic. This is easily one of my favourite ever LEGO Harry Potter figures. And finally, for the last figure on this list, the most accurate ones, we have Sybil Trelawney. This figure, like many on this list, are full of detail from top to bottom. Her hairpiece is a brand new moulded piece with the bandana which she wears in the Prisoner of Azkaban film. Her torso and legs are sand green, which is very accurate to the colours she wore in the films. Her torso also has some silver metallic beads printed on, as well as some pearl gold swirls on her dress. When we compare this to the Sybil Trelawney we got in 2004, they look nothing remotely like each other. The 2004 version could have easily been included in the least accurate section because everything from her blue dress to a bright purple hat is completely inaccurate. The best thing though, in my opinion, about the CMF Series 1 edition of Trelawney is the cup and saucer piece. I just love how the saucer is printed with pretty little patterns just like how they were in the film. LEGO really went all out on this figure when it comes to attention to detail. Okay, now on to the least accurate figures in this video. Now, I warn you, there are some downright atrocities, so prepare to laugh or cry. We'll kick this side of the coin off with glow-in-the-dark Snape. Now, I don't really know what to say here, but I don't think this figure could have been any more inaccurate if they tried. At least they got the colour black right. But in all seriousness, I do really like this figure due to how funky and fun it is, but we can't pretend it's an accurate representation. Firstly, you've got the glow-in-the-dark head, which, yeah, I'm speechless on that one. But then you've got the purple vest on the torso, and the worst thing is, the new variants of Snape do nothing to fix this issue. The torso is still purple, when in the films the colour is either black or a very inky purple, but nowhere near the shade of purple that they've given him. The Snape figure would just look perfect if he was all in black, as shown on screen here. But yeah, maybe in 2022, if you get another Snape figure, they'll fix it then. We'll just have to keep our fingers crossed. Next up on this list we have Gilderoy Lockhart from 2002, specifically the green variant. This figure is simply inaccurate due to the colour of his robes. For the scenes we see him in the Chamber of Secrets film, he wears 3 types of attire. The first in Diagon Alley where he wears lilac, second is main robes at Hogwarts where he wears bronze robes, and thirdly at the Dueling Club where he wears light grey. Never does Gilderoy Lockhart ever wear green. I don't know if LEGO received a bad concept photograph when designing this figure, but it's completely wrong. Next up on our list we have a Death Eater from the 2005 Graveyard Jewel set. This Death Eater is inaccurate just due to it not looking anything like a Death Eater at all. This figure is meant to represent Lucius Malfoy, but everything from the light grey cape to the black mask to the lack of any sort of hat just makes it nowhere near even recognisable as a Death Eater when out of context. Thankfully though, LEGO has since improved on their Death Eaters, and in the 2020 Graveyard Jewel set we got this figure which looks far superior. They've now got the right coloured robes, with the right coloured mask as well, being in white instead of black, and also a hat piece, so now we can rest easy and forget about this old LEGO Death Eater figure. Next up we probably have the most inaccurate LEGO Harry Potter figure ever made, and that's Wolfhead Lupin. So starting off with the obvious here, the depiction of this character as half wolf and half man is completely inaccurate because Remus Lupin, as we all know, turns fully into a werewolf in Harry Potter and the Prison of Azkaban. However, if that wasn't bad enough, they've even managed to get the colour of his clothes wrong from grey to dark green. This later interpretation of Lupin, who appeared in the 2018 Hogwarts Express set, is a far superior representation of him in the third film. Hopefully, if we get a Shrieking Shack set next year, we'll have a fully separate mould for Lupin in werewolf form. I've actually done a video revealing the fact that we might be getting a Shrieking Shack set soon. Again, I'll leave a link for that down in the description below. And finally, we're on to our last figure on this list, that being the original Gringotts Goblins. These goblin figures came out back in 2002, and for me the torso print isn't actually that bad when you take into account the time period that it was released in. What is undoubtedly bad though is the head mould. It had no detail, no eyes, no printing. It was just a really disappointing figure. Then in 2011 they re-released these figures in the LEGO Diagon Alley set with the same head mould. Only in 2020 for the Series 2 of the LEGO Harry Potter CMFs did we finally see an upgrade, and this upgrade was fantastic to boot. The head was this time dual moulded, with the ears and the hair stuck together into one piece which was detachable from the head itself. This is obviously a far better version of the Gringotts Goblins, and it stands a testament to how far LEGO has come over the years. And that about wraps up this video. If you enjoyed this video then make sure to smash the like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos I have done on LEGO Harry Potter minifigures. I'll leave a link down in the description below where I ranked the most expensive LEGO Harry Potter figures of all time. In the meantime, I've been Rosie, your top of bricks. See you in the next one.